For my classmates who know me, I normally speak off the cuff, but I decided to sit and make notes so that I don't promise I'll stay there, but I shall try. I'm from Pune, Maharashtra, and I call myself a faith activist. And I call myself that for two dimensions, because I'm motivated by my faith to spread an understanding of a faith that witnesses God's engagement in our times. And the second is, I'm currently the national convener of the Indian Christian Women's Movement. So I'm motivated by faith, and I want to spread an understanding of faith, which is direct engagement. I'm a cradle Catholic who went through years of seeking and study and have been trying to understand how to live an integral faith as a Christian. This course has affirmed many things that I wrestled with, helped me realize that I'm not really crazy because I think differently. So it has confirmed some things that I believe in. And it has also challenged me in several ways, too many to share. The course gave me, most importantly, a community of seekers and specialists on this journey of mine. Now, we were all seekers and specialists. The specialists include my fellow members of the cohort, who are all ardently involved in a variety of works, whether it is writing or working with the subalterns, working in development work, working with ethical politicians, working for gender issues, working on abuse issues. It didn't matter what they were doing. They were all experts in their fields. And I learned a lot from them. They were all seeking to live their life, their faith more effectively wherever they were. And their expertise in the different fields shared in the group discussions was truly enriching. Other specialists were the Tracy team, who accompanied us, encouraged us, and challenged us every step of the way. It was grace upon grace upon grace made concrete. The resource persons that came, I have no words for the way they opened our eyes, with the way they engaged with scripture to underline the practical, concrete ways that they lived their convictions. They shared their perspectives on the issues of concern in the social, political, economic, cultural aspects of life. And most importantly, how they shared how by their very lives and choices, they showed us how it was possible to make different choices, be political, and engage with difficult situations with the heart and mind of the divine. My experience thus far has been that those with the expertise, academic expertise and other expertise, they inhabit exclusive spaces and breathe rarefied air. But here the ones with the expertise journeyed with us, and we were people who had different levels of understanding. They did so with a spirit that welcomed all questions and engaged openly and honestly, giving much of their time to clarify ideas, bridge gaps, and enthuse us along the way. Most importantly, they demonstrated and underlined how it was that a community of peers praying and reflecting together had helped them sustain this engagement. We were a mix of denominations, and the journey of the course helped break down barriers of suspicion and distrust of each other's denominations. We overcame the barriers of expression of faith in our languages, beliefs, and practices. I have been wrestling with what I understood as being church and have struggled with exclusion and persecution because I have a big mouth and, I talk about it. And I was personally affirmed and challenged to expand, clarify my definition, my understanding of several terms, areas, topics, etc. First of all, to see God as a more than a spiritual entity, someone who is constantly engaged in the lives and times of the divinely created world, listening to the cries of creation, prompting individuals and communities to respond and collaborate in creating something new within themselves, in each other and in the world around. Challenged to look at scripture, read and reread it through several new lenses, missional lenses, lens of God's engagement, whose cries God is listening to, what pain is God being brought to the ears of God, what is the hope, who is prompted to respond, collaborate, make choices which are political, to bring about the change and transformation in collaboration with God. I was challenged to look at listening as being necessarily a dual process. On the one hand, the cries of the people, especially the ones on the margins, listen to their silences, their voicelessness, and their hopes. And secondly, to listen to divine promptings and to let this dual listening lead to engagement with the world in a way that strives to make it more according to the heart and will of God. I was challenged to look at justice, that the justice of God extended to include outlaw justice, to ensure that no concern was left out from the love and justice of God. This course came at a time for me when my spirits were flagging. It confirmed the fact that if I chose to call myself a Christian, I needed to go on, continuing to to comfort the disturbed and disturb the comfortable in the church and society. I had to clarify, first of all, my Magnificat to know what I was working towards, my understanding of the reign of God, rather than just knowing what I didn't agree with as belonging to the kingdom or what wasn't in harmony with the kingdom. I realized that in this cohort were people I was led to by the Divine One because of the questions in my heart and my seeking over the years, people I could collaborate with on issues of concern that were very dear to me. Truly, God was making the path clear for me during the years I was wondering where and how God was. I will continue raising issues of concern, social concern. I propose to set up a safe spaces for women and other excluded minorities to be able to share, to be heard, and to be accompanied. I am working out a plan to address gender-based violence within the church and society at different levels, with different sections of community, networking with different groups and religious and secular groups to create an awareness of the vulnerable and the possibilities of engagement backed by scripture to make a difference. I already saw the impact it had on a session that I did on the 19th. It was completely different from the way I normally do it. I am going to network with secular groups as well as groups within the church to lobby and advocate for policy changes for women and other minorities within church as well as in society, especially in the area of safe spaces, violence, etc., abuse. I'm very concerned about the intersectionality of issues that make all these concerns complex. And I look forward to being supported by the members of this cohort of mine in prayer and reflection. I'm convinced I wasn't here by chance. And I look forward to whatever new thing God is going to challenge me to collaborate in. Thank you, Tracy. Couldn't have been here without you, and look forward to continue being with you.